All right, up here in the top right corner of Entombed Valley, it's Mouz.HeroMarine, or Mouz.CC.Marine, as his tag says right now. Down in the bottom left, we have the winner of that last game. It is Acer.DarkHydra, or DarkHydra. And both of these guys are pretty young, I believe. Marine is, what'd you say, 14 or 15 years old?
14 years old he is, so very, very young player right there.
And
and already on a professional team, so
yeah.
the pretty good achievements.
Yeah, it reminds me of the little one sort of playing Brood War against some of the big boys about a decade ago. But DarkHydra, I believe, is a teenager as well. So these guys are battle of the youngins here. Compared to Hasuabs, who's been playing Warcraft 3 since it came out on a professional level. I mean, that guy's been around the block, won stuff in Korea, in Europe for many, many years, and both of these guys still trying to flesh out a spot in esports history for themselves. But TVT going to be a little bit of a different taste here compared to that TVP that we just watched. And such a large map like this, we might get to see a lot of Marine tank Viking sort of play, or maybe some cloaked Banshees. We'll just have to see. Any opinions on this matchup, Shamtu?
Well, I mean, it's a really great matchup. I believe a number of people have said, you know, just going from either Bio or Mech or Biomech or even Sky, Terran can really be played in a number of different, it's almost like different races if you really want to look at it, and can just give completely different perspectives on how you play the entire game just by, you know, just your little bit of choice of tech going either Mech or Bio. So it's a really, really exciting matchup. It's honestly my incredibly favorite mirror matchup. That's not just because I'm a biased Terran. It's just a really fun to watch.
Yeah, it is pretty dynamic, whereas Zerg versus Zerg, for example, can turn into Ling Bang, Destruction, or Infestor Roach sort of all ends, and you know, it's just the same units attacking the same units. But Terran, they do tend to mix it up a lot better, but that could just be a nod toward the versatility of Terran, like you were saying. It's almost like playing 3 different races. You can go mass Bio with Medivacs, you can go mass Mech, and you can just, you know, do that whole Banshee Raven Viking action and rain death upon your enemy. But it looks like Marine is going to be the first one to scout out DarkHydra. I saw everything there is to see, that 1 gas and that Tech Lab coming up. And right now DarkHydra is in Marine's base, not seeing any add-ons or gas. That's actually a bit surprising. Oh, because, you know, he went CC first here in his natural.
Yeah, and I'm trying to see if, no, he did not. Marine actually got away with that scot-free. The CC wasn't scouted. Obviously, he'll know, or at least he'll assume that because there's no gas, it was a CC first build after that Rax. But, you know, you never know exactly what your opponent's up to. There could be just a proxy Rax hiding out somewhere, and he might just try and scout out a little bit around himself to try and see if there is any type of proxy Rax.
Well, right now,
on like a 13-14.
DarkHydra's surprising me a little bit, not because he's building a CC at the natural. That's obvious. He wants to stay, you know, neck and neck economically. The surprise is this Reaper that just popped out for DarkHydra, starting to make its way across the middle of the map. Marine has control of this Xel'Naga tower. I don't think that SCV is going to be able to flee from the Reaper if it wants to kill him, but over here, HeroMarine actually scouting. Whoa, did HeroMarine guess Reapers? That's pretty amazing, actually, seeing that barracks of the Tech Lab. I would have guessed Marauders, of course, not fast Reaper, but he's got his Marines parked on the cliff there. DarkHydra could just jump right into his death with this 1 Marine.
Yeah, and you know, that's actually what's really awesome about Reaper Expands. You can get in there, you can kind of get some scouting information, but some Terrans have kind of wisened up to this type of play and guessed the ramp in which they're going to go over. And that Reaper is pushed away, doesn't even jump up the ramp, which is great because the time it takes for it to jump up a ramp, easily those Marines can get the kill on it.
That's right. Good move by DarkHydra, realizing he was under attack fast enough. And now he's still going to score this SCV kill that he passed up on earlier. Marine not even going to bother running away. There's no chance for an SCV to escape a Reaper out in the open like that. But the SCV of Marine just running around outside of the base kind of randomly. I'm not sure what that was about. Maybe a misclick, but he's going to start attacking down the destructible. No, he's just moving his Marines to it. Okay, maybe
he's just kind of hanging
Reapers
out over there. He's making sure that there's not going to be any type of ramps that the Reapers are going to try and take advantage of, I would assume. As he's already seen some Reapers, yeah, he still has those ones stationed over there. And, you know, that is one other susceptible ramp for Reapers to get up. But I think he realized that that wasn't that much of a dangerous ramp over there.
So you would advise him, don't fear the Reaper?
Needs more cowbell though, so
yeah,
that's all I have to say.
There is one Reaper.
DarkHydra going up to three Raxes with double reactors in his base.
Oh,
so we're going to see a really, really heavy bio come out from him.
Lots of bio and that factory coming up now could just be the stepping stone to the gateway so that he goes mass bio plus medevacs. That's what I'm assuming will happen with that number of racks. Marine's still scouting around. I'm not sure what he's looking for in the middle of the map from DarkHydra, but HeroMarine does have a pretty good spread around his natural and his main. Neither player being too aggressive here. Even Mouz.HeroMarine has tons of racks already up, 2 with reactors, 1 with a tech lab, and that factory coming up as well. He's also got an engineering bay creating +1 weapon upgrades. I don't see DarkHydra actually upgrading beyond just Stim Pack right now.
Yeah, he's only got Stim Pack. Both of them did grab Combat Shield, which is the incredibly important upgrade to get when you're in Marine versus Marine battles. And so if some of those are Hero Marines, you're in a world of trouble. But with Marine versus Marine, you need to get that Combat Shield upgrade, because actually stimming versus Combat Shield Marines, you're going to lose that battle.
Yeah, DarkHydra doing some interesting scouting. I saw that he's scouting the 3rd base location for HeroMarine and then scouted his own 3rd base location as well, because he figures, hey, if I'm doing it, HeroMarine might be doing it as well. So that's really great scouting coverage by DarkHydra, just to make sure he's in the clear, not going to be attacked by surprise by that 3rd base or anything like that. The starport is done now for DarkHydra, parked on that reactor. The starport's done for HeroMarine as well, but it's just going to churn out that first medevac before flipping onto a reactor. Actually, a little bit surprised at that. He wouldn't just swap it around with one of his barracks. But look at the just unit composition right now. If we click the unit tab, HeroMarine is ahead on SCVs. He's slightly ahead on Marines, but DarkHydra has that 1 Reaper, but he is going to start churning out units a bit faster with that reactor starport.
And you know what I really love about both of these players is that they know that they only need to have 3 gas for each of their bases. Now Marine finally throwing on that 2nd gas as he's going into probably reactor medevacs and then double engineering bay. But actually he's still on 1 engineering bay, 1 starport. So I'm curious what that 4th gas is going to be used for. That's pretty much going to be purely tech or upgrades, if anything. But still, Hydra's just now grabbing his 4th. He's on reactor medevacs as well as double engineering bay, and that's when you really need that 4th gas to get all those upgrades up there and all those medevacs out at the same time, because they can be very, very draining in your gas supply.
I see DarkHydra doing 2 things that HeroMarine is not. DarkHydra did throw up a turret at his natural, just a little bit of a preemptive thing there. He's not sure what HeroMarine's doing, so he's going to keep cautious there with that turret. He's also throwing up an armory that HeroMarine has not done yet. HeroMarine did finish his siege tech. DarkHydra still working on his. But yeah, no armory for HeroMarine. He is starting to put up turrets of his own. It's, you know, it's a little too quiet right now for this TVT. No one's attacked at all aside from that Reaper not even hopping up a cliff. Like it's like, you do what you're going to do. I'm going to do my own thing. We'll clash in the middle at some point. Right now, HeroMarine does have the superior macro, as we can see, 120 supply against 94. This push could actually be brutal if DarkHydra is not prepared for it. He's actually building a command center now, too.
Huge discrepancy between the food supply, and we can kind of see that 1 command center going down and the double upgrades are really taking a toll on the food supply. But in the end game, those upgrades will, you know, compound on each other, as he's going to be on 2-2 by the time that Mouz.HeroMarine is going to just start his 2. As I don't even think, yeah, he's just now finishing up his armory. But oh, a big engagement. Looks like it's just about to happen. There is a little couple of siege fire and going back and forth as the medevacs do load up for Mouz.HeroMarine, trying to get into a good position.
Nice scouting by DarkHydra to see the direction that HeroMarine was going with that attack. He actually set up all his Marines and tanks in a really good spot, whereas if Marine had come from the south side, then it would be totally exposed. So DarkHydra doing a good job staying on top of HeroMarine's movements. Both players rolling in upgrades and just making tons and tons of Marines. DarkHydra's actually adding a lot of racks, while HeroMarine's adding on 2 racks and a factory. We've got a little bit of a siege tank sort of battle, I guess. But the Marines are actually going to push forward and try to kill off the tanks of Marines. Actually, if he does that, then his own siege tanks will be free to just move forward and start blasting away those Marines of HeroMarine. But he is actually going to retreat, probably head all the way back to his base, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I think he's just perfectly fine with doing that aggression. Now, he does not have any scouting information that Hydra has this planetary fortress going down at the 3rd base. He himself has finished up a command center in his own main, so now he's feeling, you know, maybe he can't push up that ramp. It's a little difficult ramp to go against, really, on this map. It's very, very wide, robust, and if you don't have top vision of that ledge, then you're really going to be just walking yourself into losing so many more units. but maybe he's going to feel confident enough. Just keep the middle of the map under his control, and then, you know, get his third base down. But with that Marine from Hydra out there, going to be able to stop not only that command center from lowering, but going to allow him to have that information that the third base is now finally going down here for Marine. We're going to see how Hydra reacts.
That's true. DarkHydra's been doing a good job of keeping his information up to date. That's a good scout. That's, you know, it's been there all game long, and now it's paying off here at the 14-minute mark. DarkHydra, actually both players building sensor towers, which is something you really still don't see enough of. I remember a Pain user saying that sensor towers were one of the most broken things that the Terran had available to them that other races don't, so it's really great to see them being used. But here we go. Big engagement, both sides stimming in, but DarkHydra was a little slow in sieging those tanks, and it looks like HeroMarine is actually just going to blast through with sheer force of Marines. He's got stim and really good upgrades so far, 1-1, and more, actually 2-2 about to finish. Lots of medevacs overhead, keeping them, the Marines alive, and SCVs actually being pulled from DarkHydra from the natural. It looks like he may actually be able to finish off this force, but at a huge cost. HeroMarine pulls ahead in supply. He's now about 50 ahead. Even though he was repelled, he's now in a great position in this game.
Yeah, I mean, he did take a couple of SCV losses. Not too many, though, honestly. When he did pull all those SCVs, I thought he was going to be losing a ton more, as there were siege tanks still out there that were in siege mode. The splash damage could have cleaned up a lot of SCVs. But he did just devote a lot of resources, lost a lot of resources in trying to defend himself. And now, you know, Marine still just keeping that beautiful macro way ahead of his opponent. 135 to 100 right now in the food supply count.
Yeah, and 66 workers against only 57. The mule count is 4 against 2. Everything is coming up HeroMarine's way right now. He's actually going to push up to the third, and there's really not a lot here to stop him. Just one turret shooting away. Here come a stemmed pack of Marines from the left side, but HeroMarine just has way more troops on the ground right now, so he's just going to push in here. He can probably kill off that orbital command and a ton of SCVs as they try to escape back to the natural. Another stemmed force from DarkHydra coming in, trying to put a stop to this, but a siege tank in the back for HeroMarine going to repel even that. So big loss there for DarkHydra. He didn't lose the orbital command, but he did lose a lot of SCVs and that valuable mining time.
Yeah, and oh, here comes a little drop at the third base here for Mouz.HeroMarine, but the medevac is picked off by the double missile turrets that were put down there, and Hydra only gets 3 Marines out there, puts them in a very, very nice choke point, yeah. But still the workers killed count is way too damning for him to actually come back. It's now 24 to 8.
Yeah, if that was really good positioning from DarkHydra. If his medevac had stayed alive, it would have been pretty devastating. Oh, a medevac does get killed off. One of Marine's medevacs actually died there as he drops into the main, but he's going to be able to pick off all of these add-ons. Wow, Tech Labs and Reactors both going down, and this medevac count is actually still pretty solid for HeroMarine. DarkHydra sitting at 2-2, HeroMarine also at 2-2, so it's just a matter of who can hit the stim button the best. This tank pops out but doesn't even fire by the time HeroMarine presses the front, and there's the GG from DarkHydra. HeroMarine takes game 2.